Okay, so recently I sat in an Uber and the driver started lamenting on how bad the economy was getting. And he concluded by saying, well, it's all signs that the world is coming to an end. So at that point, I sensed he must be a Christian. So I said to him, if the world was coming to an end, your pastors will not be building big mansions and taking huge sums of money from you in church. And so he said to me, you're talking like Avram. Do you know him? There's this guy on social media who is always talking about the Bible and the fact that it's not true and all that. And at that point, I didn't want him to know where I stood, so I just kept on like, yeah, I've heard of Avram one or two times. So he asked me, do you agree with Avram? And then I asked him, do you need to be convinced that what Avram is saying is true? Or it is true? Just that you are torn between where you are and the truth Avram is saying. And the long and short of it all is that he admitted, yes, I know everything he's saying is true, but I'm a Christian and I was born in that faith. So even though I listen to him, most of the time I'm so confused. I don't know whether to go by what he says or stick to my religion. And I still hadn't told him my stand, just not to, scare him or confuse him further. So I'm like, well, at the end of the day, everything lies with you. People can tell you that it's supposed to be A, B, or that, but it's up to you as a matured man to decide which one to stand with, So if you've heard Avram, then continue to ponder over everything he's been saying and judge for yourself if you still remain a Christian or not. At the end of the day, it's your life. If you think you're going to die and go to heaven before God judges you, it's up to you. I just felt to say this to encourage Avram. There's an Uber driver, I don't know from anywhere. I just sat in his car. We started talking about life, and it ended up that we have to talk about Avram and the good work he's doing. And at this point, I'll say most of the pastors, probably 99%, know that the Bible is not real. It doesn't lead us to God and heaven. They know how the Bible got into our system as Africans, used by the colonial masters just to keep us with low self-esteem, sober, and brainwashed for as long as they have enough time to loot our gold, our diamond, bauxite, and all the natural resources in this country. And so eventually, Ghana gained independence, became a free state. Probably most of the colonial masters were gone together with their ownership of the churches. Then what happened? Our own black brothers who had been brainwashed, who had been infiltrated in their minds, took over these churches. And probably they are even doing it worse than the colonial masters did it. Because they know very well we are not going to heaven. Instead of you to tell your black brother, like Shabusom is doing now. I remember when Shabusom started talking of the fact that there's no heaven, some of his own colleague pastors will come on social media to lambast him like Akwan Wayira, say, But I'm glad he stood his firm ground to maintain that posture up to now. A lot of pastors still know, but they will not tell the ordinary person because they know if they tell you, you're going to leave the church, you're going to gain your freedom. So they'll hide that from you. And have you ever gone to church and see any pastor say, let's read a full Bible to get understanding? No. Most of the times, probably they just have 30 minutes to 1 hour to preach. Into an pen because when himself to me preach within that time, he or she gets some amount of money as payment for the work they've come to do. These are men of God working for God, getting paid by church offering and collection, So within that hour, 1 hour, there's no way he's going to tell you, let's read the Bible. So you gain deeper understanding. I remember those days in my church, it's like, if a pastor was reading, sometimes you don't even have to touch the Bible. It's like, you just write a quotation. When you go home, we have limited time. You go and read. He knows very well that when you get home, from that Sunday till the next Sunday, you're not going to read the Bible. For some churches, they try their best to have midweek Bible studies. Even that one, because of work, how many people got the time to come? 99.9% of Christians are even ignorant about the things they are telling them. But some also, perhaps, they are not so interested in heaven. But for the Father's Sundays, they can come and meet their friends, their acquaintances, eat, drink, and plan how to probably attend a party or a ceremony or one or two things, But a lot more have also been brainwashed to think their treasures are laid up somewhere in heaven there. I remember when I was growing up as a Sunday school child, oh my God, probably I was one of the most brainwashed. Almost Monday to Sunday, I want to be at church. Even if there wasn't any program that was going to benefit me, I still pass by the church, either to greet the pastor or just to see what's going on around there. For us, we believe we're building mansions in heaven by the hard work we did in church, and we're killing ourselves for the church, And so, to Avram Ben Moshe, your message is really going far. The Christians themselves are getting confused. Some would want to leave church, but it's not so easy. And recently, I've heard Shirabosom, of all people, the man who used to go about burning idols and gods of families, now coming out to confess himself that there's no heaven anywhere, and heaven is what you make it on this earth. We thank our ancestors for the wisdom they are granting us and how far the message is spreading, and we trust that many more are going to awaken. So we take back the knowledge and peace of our ancestors to transform our country and our continent. Long live the Black race.